So, hello guys. So today we're going to discuss all the PYQs from the chapter called the Sexual Reproduction Flowering Plants. I will be showing questions here one by one. You can answer in chat box. Wherever you have doubt, you can tell me. Okay. So all set, all are there. Can you please come and chat and say something hi or something? Then I will start. Hi, 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 hi. Fine, 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 fine. So, so first question is given here. I hope it is visible for you guys. You can start answering. So today we will be covering almost 17 questions. All questions are PYQs. Okay, all questions are PYQs. And I will be explaining as well. Okay, so let's see. Okay, guys, let's start. Fine. So first we gonna discuss the question from NEET 2022. Given below are two statements. Statement one, cleistogamous flowers are invariably autogamous. Statement two, cleistogamy is disadvantageous as there is no chance for cross-pollination. So in the light of the above statements, choose the correct answer from the options given below. So what will be the answer here? Yep. So what will be the answer here? So first they have mentioned cleistogamous flowers are invariably autogamous, which is true, right? Always cleistogamous flowers are autogamous. What is cleistogamous flowers? Cleistogamous flowers means what? They will be always closed flowers. This is opposite to chasmogamous flowers, right? Chasmogamous flowers means open flower. Cleistogamy means they are closed flowers. So only autogamy will be possible. Yeah. Statement two, cleistogamy is disadvantageous as there is no chance for cross pollination, which is also correct because in cleistogamy, since they are always closed, there is no chance for cross pollination. Only autogamy is possible. Because of that, both statements are correct. Very good, guys. Very good. Very good. Yeah, awesome. So let's move to the next question. Question from NEET 2024. Identify the correct set of statements. Statement A, the flowers of Vallisneria are colorful and produce nectar. Statement B, flowers of water lily are not pollinated by water. Then in most of water pollinated species, pollen grains are protected from wetting. Pollen grains of some hydrophytes are long and ribbon-like. Then in some hydrophytes, pollen grains are carried passively inside water. So what will be the answer? In first statement, Vallisneria are colorful and produce nectar, which is wrong. Why? Because Vallisneria is a water pollinated plant. Vallisneria is a water pollinated plant. You know that in case of water pollinated plant or hydrophily, they won't be having any color or nectar. They will be colorless, right? So since because of that, this statement is wrong. So let me write. So I will be discussing the related statement as well. So you can expect this in upcoming NEET exam. You know that which are the water pollinated plants which is given in our NCERT. Let's say Vallisneria. Vallisneria. Then what else? Zostera or seagrass. These are even Hydrilla. These are water pollinated plants. In case of water pollinated plants, there won't be any color or fragrance, right? Because they no need to attract anyone. Because of that, the first statement is wrong. Next one, flowers of water lily are not pollinated by water. Correct. Water lily is pollinated by insect or wind. Next, in most of water pollinated species, pollen grains are protected from wetting, which is correct. Pollen grains of some hydrophytes are long and ribbon-like. That is true. In some hydrophyte, pollen grains are carried passively inside water, which is also true. So what will be the answer? Option B, B, C, D, E. Yeah, very good, guys. All are answering. Nice, nice. Let's move to the next question. Identify the correct description about the given figure. Cleistogamous flower showing autogamy, compact inflorescence showing complete autogamy, wind pollinated plant inflorescence showing flowers with well exposed stamens, and water pollinated flowers showing stamens with a mucilaginous covering. So, what will be the answer here? Guys, first of all, this picture is given in your NCERT, and your NCERT has mentioned this picture is related to wind pollinated plants. Wind pollinated plant. And you know that in case of wind pollinated plant, they will be having well exposed stamens. Well exposed stamen is a characteristic feature of wind pollinated plants or anemophily. Hence, answer will be option C. Right? Very good, very good, very good. Now, next question. In the angiosperm, correct sequence of events in formation of female gametophyte in the ovules. Statement A, successive free nuclear division in functional megaspore, degeneration of three megaspores, meiotic division in megaspore mother cell, migration of three nuclei towards each pole, formation of wall resulting in seven-celled embryo sac. Choose the correct. So what will be the answer here? First of all, they're asking female gametophyte. Guys, what is female gametophyte? In angiosperm, the female gametophyte is called embryo sac. Embryo sac is the female gametophyte. What is the male gametophyte? Pollen grain is the male gametophyte, right? Now, let me check here. So, what is happening here? In this process, you know that first of all, megaspore mother cell will be undergoing meiosis. If megaspore mother cell undergo meiosis, they will be producing four microspores. Four microspores. Out of these four microspores, three will degenerate. Three degenerate. And there will be remaining one microspore now. This single microspore will be converting into what? Embryo sac. Right? How they will converting into embryo sac? First of all, there will be three free nuclear division. Three free nuclear division, which will be leading to the formation of eight nucleus. And finally, there will be walls. They will be forming cells also because of the wall formation. So, what will be the correct step here? First of all, meiotic division in megaspore mother cell. After that, four microspores are formed. Out of three will degenerate. Sorry, not microspores, guys. Megaspores. I'm very sorry. Megaspore. There will be four megaspores. Out of these four megaspores, three will degenerate. So degeneration of three megaspores. Next one, three successive free nuclear division in functional megaspore. And after that, formation of wall resulting in seven-celled embryo sac. So what will be the answer here? CBAD, right? CBAD. Something is missing out. Ah, yeah. And here one more thing is the migration of three nuclei, yeah, which will come in the fourth stage. After successive nuclear division, free nuclear division, there will be migration of three nuclei towards each pole, and after that, cell wall will be forming. So, what is the step? CBADE. CBADE. Option D will be coming, right? Yes, very good, guys. Very good. Very good. Nice. Let's move to the next question. Next, to ensure that only desired pollen grains fall on stigma in the artificial hybridization process. Very nice question. Statement A, the female flower buds of plant producing unisexual flowers need not be bagged. There is no need to emasculate unisexual flowers of selected female parent. Emasculated flowers are to be bagged immediately after cross-pollination. Then emasculated flowers are to be bagged after removal of anther. Bisexual flowers showing protogyny are never selected for cross. Guys, what will be the answer here? You know what is artificial hybridization, right? In artificial hybridization, What is happening? I will give a short clarity about it. In artificial hybridization, first of all, there will be emasculation. What is emasculation? Emasculation means removal of anther, removal of anther, or removal of the male part. And emasculation will be shown only in bisexual flower, only in bisexual flower. Because in unisexual flower, there is no need of emasculation, right? Now, after emasculation, what will be happening? If it is a bisexual flower, we will be removing the anther. That is called emasculation. If it is a unisexual flower, there is no need. There is no need of emasculation. After emasculation, what is the next process? Bagging. We will be covering it, right? And after bagging, pollen dusting, right? Into the female part, we will be collecting pollen grain from superior variety, and then we'll be passing into the female part, which is called pollen dusting. And what is the next process? Rebagging. So this is the concept. Now let me take the first statement. A female flower a bud of plant producing unisexual flower need not be bagged. Is it correct? No, which is it is wrong. Because even though they are unisexual flower, which need to be bagged. Why? Because um, pollen grain, unwanted pollen grain may come and situate on this. I mean, let's say for example here they have mentioned the female flower no need to be bagged, which is wrong actually, because if female flower is open, unwanted pollen grains will be reaching the female part. So to avoid that, we need to cover. Hence, the first statement is wrong. Next one, there is no need to emasculate unisexual flowers of selected female parent, which is true. Next, emasculated flowers are to be bagged immediately after cross-pollination. Correct. Cross-pollination or pollen dusting. Next, emasculated flowers are to be bagged immediately after cross-pollination. Next, emasculated flowers are to be bagged after removal of anther. Correct now? Even after the removal of anther, or after the removal of or after emasculation process, we need to bag it. Hence, it is correct. Next, in bisexual flowers showing protogyny are never selected for cross. Guys, what is protogyny? Protogyny means the female part gynecium is maturing before andrecium. Early maturation of female part before male part. So this is a method to avoid the self-pollination. Another mechanism is called a protoandry. Protoandry. What is protoandry? The male part maturing before the female part. So here they have mentioned that the bisexual flowers which showing protogyny are never selected for cross, which is wrong. Because even though a flower is showing protogyny, or even though if in a flower female part is getting mature early, still we can consider it, or still we can use them for artificial hybridization. There is no problem, right? Because we are only using the female part. Hence, this statement is wrong. So what will be the answer here? B, C, D. B, C, D. Option C will be the answer. Is it clear, guys? Yeah, very good, very good. Many are answering. Nice. Let's move to the next question. Identify the incorrect statement related to pollination. Right? Moths and butterflies are the most dominant pollinating agents among insects. Pollination by water is quite rare in flowering plants. Pollination by wind is more common among abiotic pollination. Flower produce foul odors to attract flies and beetles to get pollinated. So what will be the answer here? They're asking incorrect. You know that what is the most dominant pollinating agent among insect, which is nothing but bees, not moth, not butterfly. Hence, option 1 will be the answer. Right? Statement 2 correct only now. Pollination by water is quite rare. This also correct. This also correct. So answer will be option 1. Very good. Very good. Let's move to the next question. Which of the following can be expected if scientists succeed in introducing apomictic gene varieties of the crop? Yeah, very good, guys. Very good. B is the answer. Yeah. Now, option A, there will be segregation of desired characters only in progeny. Polyembryony will be seen and each seed will produce many plantlets. Then, seeds of hybrid plants show longer dormancy. Farmers can keep on using seeds produced by the hybrids to raise new crop year after year. Guys, what will be the answer? What is the benefit of apomictic gene? The benefit is farmers can keep on using the seeds produced by the hybrid to raise new crops year after year. This will be the answer. This is not the answer. This is not the answer. This is not the answer. Right? So the concept here is actually, that when we take apomictic seed, the benefit is that, let's say in normal program, let's say if you go and buy some plant, if we go, I mean, if we go and buy some plant seeds from the markets, yeah, which will give very good productivity. Okay, but which cannot produce. I mean, that cannot further produce good new varieties in the second or third generation. But if you are taking apomictic seed, let's say using this, we bought an apomictic seed from market, and using that we planted a tree. Okay, even if this plant producing a new progenies or new trees, this also will be having same quality as the parent. That is the benefit of apomixis. Okay, yeah, fine. Next one. A typical angiosperm embryo sac at maturity is 7 nucleate 8 cell, 7 nucleate 7 cell, 8 nucleate 8 cell, 8 nucleate 7 cell. What will be the answer? Apomixis means what? 8 nucleate 7 cell. Very good. You know, right? When you take embryo sac, what all there will be three antipodals. Three antipodals. Podal cells. What else is there? In center, there will be one central cell. Now, what else is there? Oh my God, sorry. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Yeah, what else will be there? There will be two synergid and one egg. Now you see, totally how many cells are there? There are 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 2, 5. So you can see that 5 plus 1, 6. There are 7 cells here, right? Total 7 cells are there. How many nucleus are there? 1, 2, 3. Here in central cell, there will be 2 polar nuclei. Then here 3. So total, there will be 8. Yeah, very good. Next, the term used for transfer of pollen grains from anther of one plant to the stigma of different plant, which during pollination brings genetically different types of pollen grains to the stigma is. What will be the answer here, guys? Geitonogamy, chasmogamy, cleistogamy, xenogamy. Transfer of pollen grain from anther to one plant to stigma of different plant. Different plant means what? Answer will be xenogamy, right? Xenogamy will be the answer, right? How it happens actually? For example, if there is a plant, let's say there are two plants and a male part here, female part here. From this one plant, pollen grains are moving to the different plant, right? So this is called what? Xenogamy, right? What is autogamy and geitonogamy? I hope you knew. We'll be discussing in coming questions. Okay, fine. part marked as X in the given figure is? What will be the answer here? Endosperm, thalamus, endocarp, and mesocarp. Here it is nothing but it is thalamus. It is a picture given in your NCERT, right? And this represents strawberry. Strawberry. Yes. Very good. Next. In some members of which of the following pairs of families, pollen grains retain their viability for months after release? For months after release. What will be the answer? Poaceae, Leguminosae, Poaceae, Solanaceae, Rosaceae, Leguminosae, Poaceae, Rosaceae. See, how I remember? I know that Poaceae won't be the answer. So I will remove those options. Whichever option with the Poaceae, I will remove that. Answer will be option 3. So Rosaceae, Leguminosae, even Solanaceae, they shows in these 3 categories, the viability of pollen grains will be months. Let me ask you one thing. Your NCERT has mentioned that your NCERT has given few more data. Your NCERT has mentioned viability will be within 30 minutes. In case of cereals like rice and wheat, pollen viability will be 30 minutes, within 30 minutes, right? Next. The plant part which consists of 2 generations, one within the other. Pollen grains inside the anther, germinated pollen grains with the 2 male gametes, seed inside the fruit, embryo sac inside the ovule. Very nice question, guys. Question from NEET 2020. What will be the answer here? You can answer this in 2 ways. One is according to the ploidy. Let me check. When you check pollen grain, what is the ploidy of pollen grain? N. Anther 2N. Germinated pollen grain, the ploidy will be N. For male gamete, ploidy will be N. Seed 2N. Fruit 2N. Embryo sac N. Ovule 2N. Now you can pick any statement with the any statement which mentioning both N and 2N. You take option statement A, N and 2N. This we can consider this. Then this we can't consider. We cannot consider third one. Fourth we can consider because they contain both N and 2N, or they contain both haploid and diploid. Okay, so answer will be A and D. Option 3 will be the answer. Now you know that what is N? N indicate gametophytic generation. Gametophytic generation. What is 2N indicate? 2N indicate sporophytic generation. So when you take the first statement, pollen grains inside the anther, 2 generations are coming. Gametophytic as well as sporophytic generation coming. But in second statement, N and N, which mean only gametophytic generation is coming. Hence, we cannot select statement B. And in other way also we can think. For example, when you take pollen grain and anther, pollen grain is a new generation, but anther is an old generation. Yes or no? Now, statement B. Pollen grain and male gamete, both are new generation. C, seed and fruit, both are old generation or parental generation. Now, embryo sac and ovule. Embryo sac is new generation, but ovule is old generation, right? So, 2 generations are coming. In this way also we can think. Okay. So, answer will be option 3. Very good, guys. Awesome. Now, next. In water hyacinth and water lily, pollination takes place by. In water hyacinth and water lily, pollination will be by insect or wind. Always remember, whenever you are getting water hyacinth, water lily, we will have a tendency to say water pollinated. But think it is opposite. Always remember. If water hyacinth and water lily is coming, remember it is not pollinated by water. It is pollinated by insect or wind. Right? Very good, Srishti. Very good. Yeah, Harshram also answering well. Awesome, awesome. Now, now the body of the ovule is fused within the funicle at micropyle, nucellus, chalaza, hilum. Guys, what will be the answer here? You know that ovary, inside ovary, ovule will be present, or ovule is present inside the ovary. Now, this ovary and ovule connected with the help of placenta. Now, placenta and ovule connected with the help of funicle. Now, funicle and ovule connected with the help of hilum. This is the connection. Ovary connected with the ovule with the help of placenta. Placenta connected with the ovule with the help of funicle. Funicle connected with the ovule with the help of hilum. So what will be the answer here? Body of the ovule fused with the funicle actor. Body of the ovule fused with the funicle actor. What? Hilum will be the answer. Option 4. Clear? Yes. Awesome. Now, next take. Which of the following is incorrect for wind pollinated plants or anemophily? Option 1, many ovules in each ovary. Flowers are small and not brightly colored. Pollen grains are light and non-sticky. Well exposed stamen and stigma. What will be the answer, guys? In wind pollinated plants or anemophily. Anemophily means pollination by wind. They won't be having many ovules. They will have only a single ovule. Hence, this statement is wrong. And option 1 will be the answer. Statement 2 is correct only. Their flowers are small and not brightly colored. Pollen grains are light and non-sticky. They have well exposed stamens and stigma. All these three are characteristic features of anemophilic plants. Right? Very good. Next. Which of the following has proved helpful in preserving pollen as fossil? What will be the answer? Pollen kit, cellulosic enzyme, oil condensate, and sporopollenin. Answer will be option 4. You know that sporopollenin is a very hard substance. It cannot be degraded even by enzymes. It is highly resistant material, one of the highest resistant material. Hence, this sporopollenin, keep our pollen grain in a form of fossil only. Okay, fine. In our pollen grain, exine is made up of sporopollenin. Exine part of pollen grain is made up of sporopollenin. Okay, exine made up of sporopollenin. Next, pollen grains can be stored for several years in liquid nitrogen having a temperature of minus 120 degrees Celsius, minus 80 degrees Celsius, minus 196 degrees Celsius, minus 160 degrees Celsius. Uh, you mean this one only, Srishti? What I meant is that sporopollenin is a substance, right? When you take pollen grain, let's say when you take pollen grain, huh, oh, yeah, when you take pollen grain, actually the exine part will be made up of sporopollenin, which will keep, pollen as a fossil. Fine, fine. Okay, next. So what will be the answer here? Several years in liquid nitrogen having a temperature of minus 196 degrees Celsius, right? Easy one. Next. Functional megaspore in angiosperm develops into ovule, endosperm, embryo sac, and embryo. Guys, what will be the answer? Functional megaspore will be developing into embryo sac. Similarly, microspore will be developing into pollen grain. You know, pollen grain is male gametophyte, embryo sac is female gametophyte, right? Yes. So answer will be option 3. Very good. Now, a dioecious flowering plant prevents both autogamy, xenogamy, autogamy, geitonogamy, geitonogamy, xenogamy, then cleistogamy and xenogamy. You know that dioecious flowering plant, for example, papaya. When you take papaya, you can find both male papaya and a female papaya, right? You will be finding male papaya and a female papaya. Let's say when you take this, let's say this is male papaya. Now let's say when you take this, this is female papaya, right? So dioecious plant means male and female part will be on different plants, right? So here what happens, from male part, pollen grains will be reaching female part of another plant. So here only what is possible? Only xenogamy is possible. Both autogamy and geitonogamy are absent, right? So option 2 will be the answer. Yeah, very good. 2 is the answer. Now, next one. The proximal end of filament of stamen is attached to. You know, when you take a stamen which will be having an anther, which will be having a anther filament. This is anther, this is filament. All together called what? Stamen. Now you see the proximal end will be connected to thalamus or petal. Proximal end means this part. This part will be connected with the thalamus or petal. What about distal end? Distal end will be connected to anther. Distal end of stamen is connected with the what? Sorry, distal end of filament present in stamen connected with the what? Anther, or simply the distal end of filament connected with the anther. Proximal end of filament is connected with the thalamus or petal, right? Yes. Maybe in next year, this could be the question, right? Fine. Now, next one. Which one of the following may require pollinators but genetically similar to autogamy? What will be the answer? Apogamy, cleistogamy, geitonogamy, and xenogamy. Yeah, see, this is the case of, let's say, for example, this is a male flower, this is a female flower, this is a male flower. So here what happens? From here, pollen grains will be reaching the female part. So here, they need a pollinator, right? Pollinator has required, but they are present, genetically they are present in the same plant only. This is called what? Geitonogamy. So in case of geitonogamy, pollen grains are moving from one flower to another flower of the same plant. Hence, they need pollinator, but genetically similar. Answer will be geitonogamy. Option 3. Correct now? Amazing. Now, next one. Which of the following are important floral rewards to the animal pollinators? Floral fragrance and calcium crystals, protein pellicle and stigmatic exudates, color and large size of flower, nectar and pollen grains. What will be the answer? The rewards for animal pollinators will be nectar and pollen grains. Option 4 will be the answer. Right? Very good. Next. In angiosperms, Microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis form gametes without further division, involve meiosis, occur in ovule, occur in anther. What will be the answer here? You know what is microsporogenesis? Microsporogenesis means microspore mother cell. Microspore mother cell converting into functional microspore or microspore. This is called what? Microsporogenesis. Now, what is megasporogenesis? Megaspore mother cell converting into megaspore. This is called what? Megasporogenesis. Right? Megasporogenesis. Now you see, uh, which division is happening here? The division is nothing but meiosis only. Here also meiosis. So form gametes without further division, which is wrong. Even microspore will be forming what? Pollen grain with the help of mitosis. Similarly, megaspore will be forming embryo sac with the help of mitosis. So mitosis is required. Hence, this first statement is wrong. Involve meiosis, which is correct. You see, in both cases, meiosis is required. Now, occur in ovule. See, occur in ovule means uh, when you take microsporogenesis, which is not happening in ovule, hence it is wrong. Occur in anther. Megasporogenesis is not happening in anther, not happens inside the anther, hence it is wrong. So correct answer will be option 2. Easy one. Correct now? Yes. Any doubts? Fine. Next one. The filiform apparatus is characteristic feature of nucellar embryo, aileron cell, synergid, and generative cell. Easy one. Answer will be synergid. Filiform apparatus is characteristic feature of synergid. And what is the function of filiform apparatus? Guiding pollen grain. Sorry, guiding pollen tube is the characteristic feature of filiform apparatus. Right? Fine. Now, male gametophyte in angiosperm produce single sperm and a vegetative cell, single sperm and two vegetative cells, three sperm, two sperm and a vegetative cells. Guys, what is male gametophyte? What is the name of male gametophyte? Which is nothing but pollen grain. Male gametophyte means pollen grain. And in pollen grains, you know that pollen grain will be having two cells. One is called generative cell. Generative cell. Second one is called vegetative cell. Vegetative cell, right? And you know, generative cell will be forming two male gametes, two male gametes, or we can say sperm, two sperm. Vegetative cell won't be forming anything. So what will be the answer? Two sperm and a vegetative cell. Two sperm and a vegetative cell, right? Option 4 will be the answer. Clear? Very good. Next, which one of the following statement is not true? The flowers pollinated by flies and bats secrete foul odor to attract them. Honey is made by bees digesting pollen collected from flowers. Pollen grains are rich in nutrients and they are used in the form of tablets and syrups. Pollen grains of some plants cause severe allergies and bronchial afflictions in people. What will be the answer here? What is the incorrect statement? Whenever you are getting this kind of question, first of all, you need to underline whether they are asking true or not true or incorrect. Just underline that. So here they are asking incorrect statement. Flowers pollinated by flies and bats secrete foul odor to attract them, which is true. Okay. Now, honey is made by bees by digesting pollen collected from flowers, which is wrong because honey is not made from pollen grain. Honey is separate. Honey is not made from, or honey is not made by digesting pollen grain. Hence, it is wrong. Pollen grains are rich in nutrients and they are used in the form of tablets and syrup, which is absolutely correct. In your NCERT, uh, one picture is given, right? And they have mentioned number of tablets. Do you remember how many number of tablets they have mentioned in that cover? They have mentioned a picture in your NCERT under this chapter. Cross check it. Okay. Pollen grains of some plants cause severe allergies and bronchial afflictions in some people, which is also true. So correct answer will be option 1. Yes. Fine. Next, pollen tablets are available in the market for excitoconservation, in vitro fertilization, breeding programs, and supplementing food. What will be the answer here? Pollen tablets are available in the market for supplement food. Correct now? Yes. Now, next one. Function of filiform apparatus is to guide the entry of pollen tube, recognize the suitable pollen at stigma, stimulate division of generative cell, produce nectar. Yeah, very good, guys. Very good. So, answer of the function of filiform apparatus is for guiding entry of pollen tube. Very good. Yeah. Next, geitonogamy involves fertilization of a flower by pollen from a flower of another plant belonging to a distant population, fertilization of a flower by the pollen from another flower of the same plant, fertilization of a flower by the pollen from same flower, fertilization of a flower by the pollen from a fertilization of a flower by the pollen from a flower of another plant in the same population. Guys, what will be the answer here? There are three pros, autogamy, geitonogamy, and xenogamy. What are the differences between them? Let's say, for example, um, let's say I'm taking a bisexual flower. Let's say this is a bisexual flower. Bisexual flower mean the flower which has both male and female part, right? So in a bisexual flower, you can see that pollen grains will be moving from male part to female part within the same flower. Within the same flower. This process is called what? Autogamy, right? So here there could be, this is called autogamy. Now let me take another plant. Let's say I'm taking another plant where, let's say here there are male flower is there. Then there is, let's say there is a female flower. So in this case, you see, let's say pollen grains are moving from male flower to female flower within the same plant, but between different flower. This is called what? Geitonogamy. You know that. Geitonogamy. Now, what is xenogamy? Xenogamy means, let's say pollen grains are moving from, let's say there is another plant here. And let's say this plant is having female part. Let's say pollen grains are moving from this male part to female part of a different flower from a different plant of the same population. This is called what? Xenogamy. So what will be the answer here? Geitonogamy. Give me the answer. Fertilization of flower by the pollen from another flower of the same plant. Right? This will be the answer. What it will be? Fertilization of a flower by the pollen from a flower of another plant in the same population. This is called a xenogamy. What it will be? Fertilization of a flower by the pollen from the same flower. This is called a autogamy. Right? Yes. Very good. Next. Which one of the following statement is correct? Tapetum nourishes the developing pollen. A hard outer layer of pollen is called intyme. Sporogenous tissue is haploid. Endothelium produces microspores. What will be the answer here? Which is correct. Tapetum nourishes the developing pollen, which is true because tapetum is having the nourishment purpose. Hard outer layer is called intine, which is wrong because outer layer is called what? Exine. Outer layer is called exine. And similarly, inner layer is called intine. Sporogenous tissue is haploid. No, sporogenous tissue is diploid or twin. Endothelium produces microspores, which is also wrong. So answer will be option 1. Yes, very good, very good. Correct, Sashti. Now, next question. Advantage of cleistogamy is vivipary, higher genetic variability, more vigorous offspring, and no dependence on pollinators. What will be the answer? See, what is cleistogamy? Cleistogamy means always a flower is closed. If always a flower is closed, only autogamy will be there. And even there will be assured seed set. Seed definitely will be forming. 100% there will be seed formation. Why? Because since it is always closed, there is no need of pollinators. They are not dependent on pollinators. That's why surely there will be fertilization and 100% there will be formation of seed set or seed. So answer will be option 4. Okay. Yeah. Now, megasporangium is equivalent to ovule, embryo sac, fruit, and nucellus. What will be the answer, guys? Megasporangium is similar to ovule, right? Option 1 is the answer. Now, double fertilization is fusion of two male gametes of a pollen tube with the two different eggs, fusion of one male gamete with the two polar nuclei, fusion of two male gametes with the one egg, syngamy and triple fusion. What will be the answer? Double fertilization means syngamy plus triple fusion. What is syngamy? A male gamete fusing with a female gamete and forming zygote. This is called syngamy. What is triple fusion? Another male gamete fusing with the two polar nuclei. Two polar nuclei means what? N plus N condition. To later N plus N will be forming what? 2N and forming what? Endosperm. This is called triple fusion. Right? Since there are two divisions, since there are two fusions like syngamy and triple fusion, this process is called double fertilization. Double fertilization is a characteristic feature of angiosperm. Double fertilization only present in angiosperm, right? Fine. Next, which part of the fruit labeled in the given figure marks a false fruit? What will be the answer, guys? Here, D seed, mesocarp, endocarp, thalamus. You're right. You know, right? What is a false fruit? False fruit mean any fruit formed from a part other than ovary. False fruit means what? A fruit, right? So here you can see that thalamus. Thalamus, for example, in apple. In apple, apple has formed from thalamus only, not from ovary. Hence, apple is a false fruit. And here on this diagram, C is nothing but thalamus. Guys, what is A? Sorry, what is D? D is seed. Correct only. Uh, A will be mesocarp and B will be endocarp. Your answer will be option 4. Next. In some plants, thalamus contribute to fruit formation. Such fruits are termed as nothing but aggregate fruits, true fruits, parthenocarpic fruit, and false fruit. What will be the answer? Answer will be false fruit, right? Answer will be false fruit. Give me a minute. Yeah. So here answer will be false fruit, right? Now, let me take the next question. Which one of the following statements regarding post-fertilization development in flowering plants is incorrect? Ovary develops into fruit, zygote develops into embryo, central cell develop into endosperm, ovules develop into embryo sac. What will be the answer here? Yes, yes. Quickly answer is coming. Let's see. So here what happens? Here false fruit is answer, right? Yeah. Here ovary develops into fruit, zygote into embryo, central cell into endosperm, but ovule into embryo sac, which is wrong. Ovule will be developing into seed. Hence, option 4 will be the answer, right? Very good. Next, persistent nucellus is the seed. In seed is known as chalaza, perisperm, hilum, and tegmen. What will be the answer, guys? Persistent nucellus is known as perisperm, right? And what is the ploidy of perisperm? 2n. Next, what is the fate of male gamete discharged in this synergy? One fuses with the egg, other degenerate in the synergy. All fuses with the egg, one fuses with the egg, other fuses with the synergid nucleus. One fuses with the egg and other fuses with the central cell nuclei. Guys, what will be the answer here? Fate of male gamete. One will be fusing with the egg, other will fuse with the central cell nuclei. Correct only now? Option 4 will be the answer. This won't be the answer. This won't be the answer. This won't be the answer. One gamete will combine with the egg and will be forming zygote. Other male gamete will combine with the central cell nuclei and will be forming, which will be forming endosperm. So answer will be option 4. Right? Yeah. Next. The hollow foliar structure in a wheat embryo that encloses shoot apex and a few leaf primordia is called coleoptile, coleorhiza, epicotyle, and hypocotyle. Here answer will be the hollow foliar structure in a wheat embryo or a monocot embryo which encloses shoot apex. You know that shoot apex is covered by coleoptile. Root apex is covered by coleorhiza. Remember. Similarly, root apex is covered by coleorhiza. How you can remember? You know how I remember? I remember like RR. Root coleorhiza. This R. Then automatically coleoptile will be covering shoot apex. Right? Fine, fine, fine. Next question from 2016. Cotyledon of maize grain is called plumule, coleorhiza, coleoptile, and scutellum. What will be the answer? Cotyledon on maize grain. Maize grain means it is an example for monocot. It is an example for monocot, and in monocot, the single cotyledon is called scutellum. Especially in grass family, the single cotyledon is called scutellum. Right? Fine. Next, the coconut water from tender coconut represent entocarp, fleshy mesocarp, free nuclear proembryo, free nuclear endosperm. What will be the answer? Coconut water represent free nuclear endosperm. Then that white kernel in coconut represent cellular endosperm. Correct now? Yes, very good. Free nuclear endosperm. Correct, Srishti. Next, the hilum is a scar on the fruit where style was present, seed where micropyle was present, seed where funicle was attached, fruit where it was attached to pedicel. What will be the answer here? We already solved this. Hilum is a scar on the seed, not on the fruit, right? So we can remove option 1 and 4. It is a scar on the seed where funicle was attached. I already discussed before, right? Yeah, funicle and funicle connected with the ovule or seed with the help of hilum. Yes, very good. Now, the wheat grain has an embryo with one large shield-shaped cotyledon is known as. What will be the answer? Shield-shaped cotyledon on wheat. Wheat means monocot. In monocot, the cotyledon is called nothing but in monocot, the cotyledon is called scutellum, not epiblast, not coleoptile, not coleorhiza. Answer will be scutellum. This was the question from 2015 ReNEET. Yes, very good. Now, which one of the following fruit is parthenocarpic? What is parthenocarpic? A fruit formed without fertilization. Without fertilization. Let me ask you one thing. Then what is false fruit? False fruit means a fruit formed any part other than ovary. That is called false fruit. But parthenocarpic fruit means what? A fruit which formed without fertilization. What is example? Banana. Banana is an example for parthenocarpic fruit. If you observe banana, can you find seeds in banana? No, you can't. Because seeds are absent. Why? Because fertilization is absent. You know, seed is a product of fertilization. If fertilization is absent, seed also will be absent. Then when you open banana, you may see some black dots now, which are nothing but ovules, not seed. Okay, ovules will be there, but ovules were not converted into seed because of the or due to the absence of fertilization. Right? Yes, very good. What is apple? Apple is an example for false fruit. Yes. Next, coconut water from a tender coconut is free nuclear endosperm, innermost layer of the seed pod, degenerated nucellus, immature embryo. What will be the answer? Free nuclear endosperm, right? We already discussed it. Next, non-albuminous seed is produced. Non-albuminous or ex-albuminous seed is produced. Pea, maize, castor, wheat. What will be the answer, guys? When you take seed, there are two types. Non-albuminous or ex-albuminous or next one is or non-endospermic. Another one is called albuminous. Right? So when you take albuminous or endospermic, this will be non-endospermic. Non-endospermic. These are different names, guys. Okay. So endospermic will be present mainly in mostly monocots. Here mostly dicots, right? So when you take maize is a monocot, hence it will be albuminous. So maize won't be the answer. Wheat is a monocot, so wheat won't be the answer. Now P is a dicot. P is a dicot, so it will be non-albuminous. Now what about castor? You guys tell me, what is castor? Monocot or dicot? Actually, castor is a dicot. Generally, dicots are non-endospermic, but castor is a endospermic dicot. It is an exception. Exception. Okay. Castor is an endospermic dicot. Clear? Fine. Next. Perisperm differ from endosperm in its formation by fusion of secondary nucleus with several sperm, being haploid, having no reserve food, being diploid. What will be the answer here? Perisperm. You know what is a ploid of perisperm? The ploidy of perisperm will be diploid or 2n. What is perisperm? Perisperm nothing but persistent nucellus. Persistent, I'm sorry. Persistent nucellus is called a perisperm. So how perisperm is different from endosperm? Its formation by fusion of secondary nucleus with several sperm. No. Being haploid. No. Perisperm is diploid. And endosperm is, what is the ploid of endosperm? 3n. Endosperm is 3n. Being haploid tissue. No. Having no reserve food. No. Perisperm contain reserve food. Being diploid tissue, which is correct. Yes. Perisperm is diploid, but endosperm is triploid. Option 4 will be the answer. Next. Seed formation without fertilization in flowering plant involve the process of. Guys, what is the name, the process name? If a seed is forming without fertilization, which is called sporulation, budding, somatic hybridization, apomixis. What will be the answer here? Apomixis. Seed formation without fertilization is called apomixis. Fruit formation without fertilization is called parthenocarpy. Right? Yes. Next. Large, colorful, fragrant flowers with the nectar are seen in wind pollinated plants, insect pollinated plants, bird pollinated plant, bat pollinated plants. What will be the answer here? Option 2. Insect pollinated plants. Right? Next. In angiosperm, the haploid, diploid, and triploid structures of a fertilized embryo sac sequentially are. Guys, what will be the answer here? Here they are asking haploid N, diploid 2n, triploid 3n. When you take option 1, you know synergids are haploid N, antipodals haploid, polar nuclei, single polar nuclei will be haploid. So this won't be the answer. Next, synergid haploid, primary endosperm nucleus, which is triploid, zygote. Zygote will be diploid, N, 3n, 2n, which won't be the answer. We need N, 2n, 3n. Antipodals, N. Synergid, N. Primary endosperm nucleus, 3n. Again, this won't be the answer. Now, next, synergid, N. Zygote, 2n. Primary endosperm nucleus, 3n. Correct. N, 2n, 3n. So, answer will be option 4. Yes, very good, very good. Next, What is the function of tassels in a corn cob? In a corn cob, to trap seed, to attract insects, to trap pollen grains, to disperse pollen grains. What will be the answer here? Tassels are helpful for trapping pollen grains. Option 3 will be the answer. Right? Yes. Yes, that's it. So by saying this, the chapter is over. So we have covered almost every questions from this chapter related to NEET exam. I think we covered almost 70 questions. Within short time only we covered. Do you have any doubts? I hope you understood everything. If you have any doubts, you can ask me how it was. Fine, fine, fine. Okay. So by saying this, I'm closing the session. So work out maximum variety of questions, which will helping a lot for the final NEET exam. From this chapter, you can expect average 2 to 3 questions for your upcoming NEET exams. Okay. All the best. Bye bye. Take care.